What's up everyone, Galliw here from No Tier Gaming, and today we're going to be taking a look at my Time Thief deck profile for July 2020. So this is a deck profile post Numeron Force, or post the Numeron deck coming out, and we're looking at kind of how this deck can fare in that format. I actually think this deck overall performs pretty well. It has a lot of really solid overall matchups with the Eldritch deck, and it does perform pretty well overall against the against Adamantimators because of all the hand traps you play, and you playing such impactful cards like Gamma being searchable, and basically because of Redoer being able to bounce. It has some pretty strong matchups overall, and it can effectively run I run 11 hand traps. You can run more if you want. You can run up to, I suppose you can run 12 pretty efficiently. You can play the third Ghoster, I just choose not to. So let's look at the deck and kind of explain how everything works. So to begin, we have our 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, pretty standard hand trap there, triple Effect Failure, double Ghostlighter and Snow Rabbit, and then our 3 Gamma and our Driver to kind of fill out our hand trap package. Gamma is searchable, so it's a little bit different than the other ones, but the other ones have the utility that they are able to be used for Almirage to make Parallel Exceed live. From there, we of course play 3 Parallel Exceed. This card's insane. You play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cards that can all make Almirage, so it does make Parallel Exceed very viable to go into. After that, we play our Rocket Engine. I play Recharger now. I didn't realize how strong Recharger actually was. If its effect is that if a dark monster you control that special from the extract is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target one of those destroyed monsters. Special summon 1 dark monster from your graveyard with a different rose name than that targeted monster. So it allows you to get Redoer back on the field pretty easily. All you have to do really is crash one or have one destroyed by a card effect, and you're able to immediately just put Redoer back out, and then you have flyback and everything to start attaching materials to it. It's really strong. That effect is just really good overall. Then we have 2 Rocket Tracers. Originally I only played 1, however, like, Rocket Tracer is just really good, and there's a lot of times where you will trigger Rocket Tracer's effect, and like, you'll want to still be able to resolve Quick Launch, and on its own, Rocket Tracer is just a really good card. So overall, I just felt like it was correct to play 2 Rocket Tracers in the deck, which I wasn't before. And then we have the Bezel Ship, Chrono Quarter, triple Regulator, triple Winder, Driver, triple Call By, double Cyclone, triple Quick Launch, triple Shade Radiant, double Flyback, and the Time Thief Retrograde. So you might notice that in this build, I don't play Zodiac. I still like the Zodiac engine. However, I just wanted to cut down on my normal summons a little bit, and it's really strong, but I think right now, specifically, having Hauti Fibrax is just too good, especially when you are playing this amount of hand traps and you are playing the Tracer, and it just lets you go for a game a lot of the time. Once you're in like those advanced game states, being able to go Hauti Celine access code is just so incredibly powerful, or even just being able to go into the Apolloso if you're like going into the middle to late game, it's just so strong to like kind of like completely remove your opponent's resources that it kind of helps fix like Driver being bad sometimes. Now the Zodiac engine in general, in my opinion, is better for going first a lot of the time than the other engines, but it does kind of fall off later in the game on like being able to run without it. So I think this build for now is pretty good. I still like the Zodiac engine. My Real Life build still runs it, but I might change that up soon. So our Monster makes sense there. Going into our spells and traps, we have the triple Callby. I think Callby is correct just in general for this deck because Ash and Ogre do completely wreck Redoer. Redoer is so weak to those cards. Having a way to protect Redoer is huge. Double Cyclone. Cyclone is just insane. There's so many decks right now where that back row is just really relevant. You could even argue for playing the 3rd Cyclone in the main and just siding the other Chalices or Encores, as they do just freely out the Utopic deck. But I think Chalice overall has more utility when you know you're going second. So it just seems more correct to me. Then triple Quick Launch as our extender. This is standard. This is what we've always played. So I think it's right. Then we have our other best extender, which is going to be our Phantom Knights of Shade Brigadine. This card's insane. One of the best extenders in the deck. Definitely always a 3 of. Double Time Thief Flyback and 1 Retrograde. This is just, again, standard for our ratios. It's just like our Time Thief ones. These are pretty much always going to stay the same unless we get new cards. I think Bezel Ship, Chrono Quarter, triple Regular, triple Winder, 2 Flyback, and Retrograde is the standard ratio you should be running. I don't like Time Thief Hack because as good as the card can be, a lot of the time it's going to be a brick, and same with the other one. Oh god, I can't remember the name of it. I only know the German or the Italian name, so I only have it in Italian right now. Let's look at it. I'm just brain farting. The startup. Startup's really not that good. It's inherently a neg 1, and it requires you to have 2 startups in graveyard to kind of trigger it. Which, if this card said you can attach up to 3 Time Thief cards of different types, it'd be great. But it says attach 3 exactly, and that means you're gonna need 2 spells in graveyard, a trap, and a monster, and that just seems unreasonable in my opinion. I don't think the card is worth a slot, and with our lack of good Time Thief monsters, it just doesn't fit too well. Regulator is gonna be your first summon. If you have it, you're never really gonna just special summon a Regulator flat out unless you like go Winder plus an Extender first, and then at that point you already have a Redoer on the field. Why would you want to waste another card? That's just my opinion on it, and I don't really think like the cards you're gonna have in graveyard that you want to reattach to Redoer are gonna be Retrograde and brain part are going to be retrograde, and like you're going to want to keep your flybacks in there. You want to be able to use flyback on your opponent's turn. So I just don't think it's correct. It seems bad to me to run the startup. So that's why I don't run it. Looking at the rest of our deck, we have our Ghost Order, our Cosmic Cyclone. These cards are really good in certain matchups, and I think having 3 of them can be very beneficial, but I definitely don't want to play 3 of them in the main just because there are matchups where they aren't very strong. 3 Dark Ruler No More. Yeah, this card's insane. you really need it for like those combo decks when you go second. As long as they're not FTKing you, you want to have kind of more gas for beating them going second. Going first, you should win most matchups. Then we have our Double Chalice, and this is just an out for the Numeron deck being kind of scary right now. We'll see how it kind of filters into the meta overall, but that deck is scary, and I think having Chalice to deal with it is really nice. Triple Lightning Storm. This card's really good. Back row decks are scary. I don't want to like. There's times where like you just can't make a Redoer, and if you can't make Redoer, what is this deck really doing? And the answer is not very much. So having an out to that is really nice. Triple Evenly, kind of for the same premise, but it also works on monster heavy decks too. Just being able to out their stuff is really good. And then double Teekaboo in the end. I think you should probably play 3 of this. I'm on 2 right now just for space reasons, but if you were to cut the Ghost Order and the Cyclone, 3 Chalice, 3 Teekaboo seem correct. You could even run 3 of the XYZ Encore if you prefer. Looking at the edge deck, we play Ignister, 2 Perpetua, and 2 Redoer. You might be saying to yourself, well, why not just play the 3rd Redoer? Well, Perpetua just brings back Redoer, so it doesn't really matter. You could even play 1, but having it get called by really hurts, so having the second one is important. The Tornado Dragon, I think this is all you need for rank 4s right now. These are just by far the best ones overall. So last, I don't run the Utopia double package, and the answer is it doesn't really have a good slot for this deck. There's not a lot of times where you're going to be making Utopia double effectively, because when you go first, you're never making it, which you would prefer to go first. And when you go second, unless your opponent just didn't end on any cards, when is it coming up? You're going to get Ogre on it, you're going to Ashland, you're going to Veil it on it, you're going to get Mordred on it. And there's just so many answers to the Utopia double combo in the game right now. And this deck doesn't really force out those interactions. It's just trying to stick a rank 4 most of the time. And when you're just trying to stick a rank 4, having cards that don't really do anything is just not the way to go. So you're sticking it, and then it has to be able to do stuff, and the card just eats interruption, and it doesn't really protect itself in any way. I don't like that. Tornado Dragon, because back row big spook. Then for the rest of that deck, this is where this deck is more link focused, I think, than a lot of the other builds I played, just because some of the links are just so incredibly powerful right now. So we have Access Code Talker, Apollosa, Hati Fibrax, IP Master Arena, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, Lambda, Almirage, and Selene. So generally, you're going to be, if you're using the Hauti, you're going to be going Hauti into Veiler, make Selene, Selene effect, bring back Veiler, special summon Access Code or Apollosa, and that's just really good in my opinion. And then we have the Masquerena, because there is Masquerena combos. It's better with Zodiac, honestly, but the Zodiac doesn't have a place in here as much when you have the extra deck space taken up by the Hauti combos, unfortunately. So Masquerena might be cuttable if you want to play another rank 4, but the card can be good at times, so I think it's still just worth the slot. Other than that, everything else here in here is pretty standard, and then you play Phoenix Unicorn in most decks if there's space, and this deck has the space for it for the most part, and they're just generic outs to scary stuff. Lambda, because we link and stuff. Almirage, because it's super important when it comes to using your hand traps to extend with Parallel Exceed. And then, yeah, Selene for all the combos. So that is the full deck here for my current Time Thief deck profile. I think it might be worth putting the Numeron in, because you can just tag out you can make your Redoer, tag it out, and then activate the field spell and go off from there. But I haven't tested enough to know for sure. It will take up extra deck space, and it takes up some main deck slots that you otherwise might want to play on just good cards. But it's only 4 slots, so you can't really complain too much. Anyways, that's the deck for you guys. Remember to subscribe and check check out the channel for more content in the future. I'll definitely be playing some of this in real life. Me and my friend have been playing we've been playing some real life matches, and I really like playing Time Thief just as a casual deck because it's not one of those like crazy combo decks that doesn't allow for interaction. I like all my decks to have a lot of interaction, so I think Time Thief fits it perfectly. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.